Welcome back to Spitball Cards. In today's episode, we want to talk about Fanatics and how they're terrible because they're printing too much, and how they're terrible because they're not printing enough, and they're making it too cheap and too expensive. So, Ty, you sent us a video on Instagram from someone complaining that there was too much inventory at Costco and how it's ruining the market and no one cares about it. And then you also sent us a video about someone complaining that product is nowhere to be found and is too expensive. So I want to talk about this dynamic. Is there actually an issue here? Or are we just accustomed to hating Fanatics and Tops and wanting to complain? It could be, honestly, both. It could be that we actually have an issue with Fanatics. So, Ty, what are your thoughts?
Well, first of all, let me say Costco value bundles, very fun. Actually, good value. If you can find them, I bought like 4 different ones for myself and my kids to rip. And of everything we've ripped in terms of value, it was the most fun, including we got this oversized Patrick Mahomes stained glass that was like the last thing we opened, which was really exciting.
I saw you post that on Instagram.
I know I did. And Roman and I were we were doing like a little bit pack battle with 4 packs each from this Mosaic football bundle. And I was like, whoever gets the best card gets to open the stained glass. And so he like slow rolls it and he's like, Chiefs. And I was like, no way. And I'm like, it's got to be Mahomes. And he's like, Mahomes. I'm like, you're lying to me. And he pulled it out. And it was very cool. Good value on them, honestly. Whether it was the Topps ones, the Panini ones, I thought it seemed like the pack out. We got our value out of them, which was really surprising. Like it was pretty cool. So yeah, I saw this video on Instagram, and this is not to throw shade at Afford the Hobby. He puts out some cool stuff. I think I followed him for a little while, but he put this video out here, and I'm not going to turn the audio on, but he's like pointing at all these value bundles and basically almost like posting a question, right? Are we concerned about this? But I see this from people, and it's like, I've never seen the Magic ones. There's like thinking this is sort of this like harbinger of doom when you actually find retail product out in the wild. Like, here you go. You found things. Mass production. Here we come. No offense, Bob Batnob, cursive. Like, I think there's sort of a cultural thing where we just want to complain about whatever's going on, no matter what. There's also just subsets of people who have one position. Oh, mass production. Don't like that. And then there's other people, and it's like, I can't find anything. There's nothing out there. We go back to peak COVID, times when everything was crazy. And what I never hear from anybody is an actual proposed freaking solution. Like, nobody ever comes to the table and says, this is simple, Topps. Here's how you fix the issue. This is simple, Panini. Here's how you fix the issue. They just gripe about every single thing. So if we think about it, we get mad when the pack odds are too favorable, which means that the prices on the boxes goes up because people buy them because there's actually better odds of hitting something. So the demand goes up, price goes up, they get bought out by people, and then there's no supply and it dries up. We get mad when there's too much supply printed. And admittedly, the box prices have still been pretty expensive because I guess we're all just degenerates at the end of the day or something. But there's, you can't hit anything. That's really bad. I will say it's really bad when the pack odds are long and the prices are high, which is kind of where we are now. And then you just get crushed no matter what. And it's rough. And then there's like everything in between. There's only so many levers that I feel like the manufacturers can pull to where things can change. So what I want to do, I took some notes, tried to organize it with ChatGPT. I want to kind of go through this and just get all of your guys' reactions. And I want to ask our audience, like, if anybody has that brilliant solution or even like sub solutions to some of the dynamics, weigh in with those, put them into the comments. Maybe Topps will see them. But like the overarching problem, I think, is some combination of can't find wax, too much wax, can't hit anything, odds are good, price is too high. Like things kind of have these like counter effects in basically, different economic levers. So that's the overarching contradiction. When demand is hot, you can have like these hype cycles. So we've seen it with Pokemon over the last year. Good luck finding any kind of an ETB or anything Pokemon on the shelves at Target, Walmart, anywhere that would normally sell that stuff, because the scalper's out and active and waiting in line and weighing packs and doing all the things that the scalpers live and breathe on. And they're flipping it for 2, 3, 4 times what it's worth on eBay on the secondary market. So objectively speaking, there's secondary market demand that's creating a problem with the price of SRP at the retail stores vis-a-vis the price of what people are willing to pay for it after the fact when they can't find it at the retail stores. Same thing that happened during COVID. That can be completely and totally driven just by like hype cycles. Pokemon and TCG is a very different market, but the same theme still applies there. You can obviously also still have really high demand when there are big chase cards. We've seen what MLB debut patch autos have done in Topps Chrome Update compared to Topps Chrome, and how that's like beefed up the price of those boxes. Really, I think the two demand factors are like good hit rates, good rookie class, those two kind of together, or just like the hype cycle, like what we're seeing with Pokemon right now. And then like everything just disappears and people get really mad. So then what happens? The manufacturer responds and they print, they print more. And then there's a super abundance of it sitting there at the SRP, $25, $30, $35 for a value blaster box, whatever you want to call it. And then everybody's like, oh my gosh, the sky is falling. The hobby's ending. There's too much. It's another junk wax era. Things kind of like this pendulum swinging back and forth. Obviously, breaking has a big impact. Everybody says that. Everybody knows it. Very polarizing topic, breaking. Objectively speaking, reality, breaking is not going anywhere. It is not going anywhere. In fact, it's only seemingly growing. Fanatics is putting a huge amount of emphasis onto breaking. Whatnot is huge. People like to buy into breaks. It fractionalizes the cost or the point of entry. Or instead of buying one hobby box, you buy into your favorite team into 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 case breaks, increasing your odds of getting the top player from your favorite team that you want to get. It creates a different dynamic. Obviously, they can't just print more. Everybody's really concerned about print runs. We just saw the stats come out about Topps Chrome basketball and Topps Chrome Update baseball. It's like, oh my gosh, there's some 660,000 base copies of this base card. Like that's another junk wax era. I don't really know what else they can do. I have some ideas that could help things for people who want to open sealed product, and they obviously don't want to pay like $600, $700, $800 for a hobby box of Topps Chrome. And the main one that I have is if Topps would partner with hobby shops, with local card shops, approved dealers in their network, whatever that looks like, to say, we're going to give you an allocation, not replace your allocation that you're already getting, but give you an allocation that we would have otherwise had for our online sales, for the EQF, for the bot farms that scoop everything in the 3-minute window, for whatever other method, Dutch auction, other things that they want to do. Get rid of all of that. Get rid of all of it. And sorry to the people who live in remote areas that would only get it through online. Make it so that hobby shops get an extra 10, 20, 100 cases of whatever the product is. You come in, first people in the door, they get some cool swag, top stuff, pins, whatever, like you can sweeten the deal, and you can buy one hobby box at SRP, $230, whatever it is, and they're going to slice it open just like they do at the National, and you have to open it. You've eliminated the scalping thing with it. It's for you. It's for the collectors. You can go and buy this box. That's the big complaint, right? It's too expensive. It's too expensive. I can't buy the boxes, and I want to be able to buy into it. And I don't want to buy into breaking. I don't want to support that. So give people an opportunity to go buy a hobby box at cost or at the markup that the hobby shop still makes sense. And then give the hobby shop the rest of their allocation, which is, at the end of the day, it's dictated by the secondary market. Like if people are paying $600, $700, $800 on eBay for these boxes, then of course David Adams and Steel City and Cards HQ and everybody else are going to mark their box prices up to that. It's not running some charity organization where they're going to sell the boxes at a cheaper price. I did see that Burbank, I forget which product it was. Topps Chrome. It wasn't Topps Chrome Update. Some product came out within the last couple of months. It was a big release. Maybe it was Topps Chrome Basketball. Oh, it was Topps Flagship basketball. And Burbank was selling it and basically like price undercutting. There was sort of some drama around whether or not they were allowed to be selling it at like a 40% discount from what everybody else was selling it, because there's some kind of agreement with like Topps based on secondary market just to help protect all of the card shops and the distributors with what they have to do. So like they were kind of being propped up as heroes, and I love Rob and what they do there, but there were questions around whether or not they were even allowed to do any of that and whether or not they could mark down things significantly. Cool idea. I would rather see Topps formally behind it and supporting all the local card shops doing it than like a one-off rogue company trying to look good on social media for selling a couple cases of stuff at a cheaper price. So that's my main idea. One other idea would be if somehow there were a way to put redemptions, and I say this, the redemptions would have to be redeemable very fast, not like wait a year to get your redemption, but some kind of a cool redemption within the products as a chase where you need to have like original proof of receipt from Topps, from a card shop, from something else that you bought it, that you didn't buy it on the secondary market to like get the redemption. That just sort of came to me. I don't know if that's actually a good idea or not. I could see some people say that's really stupid too, but I'm trying to like rack my brain and think outside of the box to say, what are the manufacturers actually supposed to be doing? I'm not an economist. Maybe there are some obvious things to our viewers or other people. I'm just not hearing them. And so I can't help but laugh every time I see these like big pendulum swings of people just like raging about whatever the current paradigm is.